The silence before words. In a world that worships noise, silence has become the rarest sound. We fill every moment with voices, screens, and endless movement, yet somewhere inside, a part of us still waits for something wordless. Ibn Arabi once said, "The one who knows himself knows his Lord." But how can we know ourselves when we can't even hear our own hearts anymore? The truth, my friend, is that silence is not emptiness. It is the language through which God still speaks. It was silence that existed before the first word kun, be. It was silence that listened when mountains bowed and oceans stilled. And it is silence that carries every whisper of the soul back to its source. So tonight, let go of the noise. Let the outer world fade like dust in the wind. Close your eyes and listen. For when the world becomes silent, something ancient begins to awaken inside you. The part that remembers. The part that has never been lost. The part that has always belonged. This is where the language of the soul begins. And this is where Ibn Arabi's journey calls us into the silence that speaks. Part 2. The language of the heart. The heart is not a place of flesh and blood alone. It is the throne of meaning, the meeting point between the human and the divine. Ibn Arabi called the heart the mirror of existence. He said that every beat of the heart is God remembering himself through us. But we have forgotten how to listen. We chase knowledge, words, theories, and lose the simplicity of feeling. The heart was never meant to argue or prove. It was made to perceive. When the heart speaks, it does not use words. It uses presence. It uses light. Sometimes a tear rolling down the cheek says what 1,000 books cannot. You see, the heart has its own alphabet. It writes with sincerity. It speaks in surrender. And it only opens for those who knock gently. In every pain you've carried, every love you've lost, every longing that refused to leave, the heart was speaking, not punishing you, not confusing you, but calling you back. The heart whispers what the mind is too loud to hear, that everything you seek is already seeking you, that you were never separate, never forgotten, only asleep beneath the noise. And when the mind grows quiet enough, the heart begins to translate silence into understanding, not through logic, but through presence. That is why Ibn Arabi wrote, "My heart has become capable of every form. It is a pasture for gazelles and a convent for monks, a temple for idols and the Kaaba of the pilgrim. Love is my religion and my faith." Such is the vastness of a heart that has learned the language of silence. It no longer divides. It only embraces. It sees God not in heaven or on earth, but in every heartbeat. So sit quietly, my friend. Put your hand upon your chest. Listen, not to the rhythm, but to the meaning behind it. Every thump is saying, "I am still here. I am still remembering." The moment you begin to hear your heart again, you begin to hear God. Part 3. The mirror of existence. Ibn Arabi said, "The world is a mirror in which the reality sees itself. Every mountain, every ocean, every soul is a reflection of the one light shining through countless forms. But like a mirror covered in dust, we no longer see what is truly reflected. We see separation, difference, and distance, not realizing they are only shadows cast by our own forgetting. Creation was never meant to hide the Creator. It was meant to reveal Him. Every drop of rain, every breath of wind, every glance of love between two beings is God whispering, "I am still here." Look closely at the world around you. The old man feeding birds, the child laughing at a butterfly, the stranger helping another cross the road. These are not random acts. They are mirrors of divine mercy, expressions of an infinite compassion still moving through this world. The eyes that see only pain see half the truth, but the eyes that see through love see God even in the ashes. Ibn Arabi called this the unity of being, that nothing truly exists except the one. We are but waves in the same endless sea, rising and falling, forgetting and remembering. The tragedy of our time is not that we have lost God, but that we have lost the ability to recognize Him in each other. Every time we judge, we turn the mirror away. Every time we love, we polish it again. The more we cleanse the heart of ego, the clearer the reflection becomes, until one day the seeker looks into the mirror and no longer sees himself, but only the light. That is the secret of existence Ibn Arabi revealed. There is no you and I, only the beloved, playing both roles in this eternal story of love. So when you look at the sky tonight, don't just see stars. See 1,000 mirrors catching the same light from one source. And when you look within yourself, don't search for perfection. Search for reflection. For the one who made you still gazes through you. Part 4. The illusion of separation. There are moments when every soul feels abandoned, when prayers fall silent, when the heavens seem closed, and life feels like walking through endless shadows. We call this distance, but Ibn Arabi called it forgetfulness. He said, "Between you and God there is only one veil, yourself." We cry, "Where are you?" And yet it is He who asks, "Where are you, O my servant?" We imagine the divine as far away, somewhere above clouds, beyond galaxies, beyond reach. But in truth, He is closer than our own breath, nearer than the pulse beneath our fingers. The feeling of separation is not punishment. It is the invitation. The ache in your chest, the emptiness that refuses to be filled by the world. That is not despair. That is the rope of return, the secret call to remembrance. Ibn Arabi wrote that this distance is a game of love. The beloved hides himself so that the seeker may learn to see with the inner eye. He disappears from the senses to awaken the soul. He removes His presence from form so you may discover Him in essence. And when the seeker finally surrenders, when he falls exhausted into the arms of longing, he finds that the one he sought was never gone. It is like a wave searching for the ocean, crying, calling, wandering, until it falls back and remembers, "I was never separate." In that remembrance, the illusion shatters. The seeker disappears. Only the beloved remains. That is why Ibn Arabi said, "He who knows the truth of himself sees the truth of his Lord." Because once the veil of ego is lifted, every sound becomes dhikr, every sight becomes revelation. So when the world feels cold and empty, don't curse the silence. It is not absence, it is preparation. Every unanswered prayer is a doorway waiting for surrender. Every delay is a deeper invitation to see beyond the surface. You are not lost, my friend. You are being returned. For the one you seek has never stopped seeking you. Part 5. When silence speaks. There comes a point in every seeker's journey when words can no longer reach what the soul wants to say. When every prayer feels too small, every sentence too heavy. It is here that silence begins to bloom. Not the silence of absence, but the silence of presence. A silence that is alive, breathing, overflowing with meaning. In that stillness, the seeker stops speaking, and the beloved begins, Ibn Arabi wrote, "When the tongue falls silent, the heart begins to speak. And when the heart falls silent, God Himself begins to speak." Imagine that. A moment when the entire universe seems to pause, the wind slows, the heartbeat softens, and suddenly you hear something that cannot be heard, not with the ears, but with the being itself. A knowing without words, a peace that does not depend on reason, a love that requires no explanation. That is when silence speaks. That is when you realize the voice you have been waiting to hear was the silence waiting to be felt. The mystics say, silence is the ink with which God writes upon the soul. It is through silence that understanding descends, not as thought, but as light. In this world of noise, to sit quietly is not escape. It is resistance. It is the reclaiming of your divine language. The prophets retreated to mountains, the saints to deserts, not because they ran from people, but because they ran toward silence. They knew the beloved whispers in places the world cannot enter, and if you listen long enough, you too will hear it, a voice that doesn't speak, yet says everything. It will tell you things your mind cannot hold, but your soul will understand completely. It will tell you, you are never apart from me. You are my echo in the world of form. Your silence is my remembrance. So listen, my friend. Do not rush to speak. Let the silence answer. For in the quiet, you are standing at the door of eternity. And the one who loves you is already on the other side. Part 6. The Eternal Listener. When the seeker finally reaches the end of his searching, he does not find thunder, nor light, nor visions. He finds listening, not his own listening, but the listening of the beloved. For every sigh you have ever released, every tear that fell quietly in the dark, every unspoken prayer that trembled at the edge of your lips, was heard. Ibn Arabi said, "He hears you through himself, for there is nothing in existence that is not his hearing." The silence you thought was empty was filled with his attention. The loneliness you felt was only his closeness in a form you could not yet recognize. In the end, you realize you were never the one who remembered him. It was he who remembered himself through you. That is why the saints never feared silence. They sat beneath the stars and spoke to the air because they knew the air was listening. Every grain of dust carries his awareness. Every flicker of flame responds to his will. And every soul that breathes, breathes because he listens. You and I are only instruments through which the song of existence plays. We imagine ourselves as singers, but we are the notes. The melody belongs to him. So when you feel unseen, unheard, forgotten, pause, close your eyes, and let that stillness rise like dawn inside your chest. You will feel it, a listening greater than your own, a presence vast and intimate all at once. That is him, always there, always hearing. The world may pass, the body may fade, but the listener remains. The Quran says, "Indeed, he is the all-hearing, the all-seeing," not hearing as we do, but hearing through every sound that has ever existed. Even now, as you sit here in quiet, he listens through you. He listens to himself within you. You are both the prayer and the answer, the echo and the origin, the silence and the song. And when this realization dawns, fear leaves, loneliness melts, the distance disappears like mist before the morning sun. You understand at last what Ibn Arabi meant when he whispered, "There is no journey. There is only the traveler, and he is the destination." Everything that has ever been lost returns in that moment, not as sound, but as certainty, the certainty that your silence was never yours alone, that when you bowed your head in emptiness, the eternal listener bowed with you. So now, let this final silence be your prayer, not words, not thoughts, only stillness, offered as remembrance. For when silence speaks, he listens, and when he listens, all creation is at peace. If this Sufi audiobook touched your heart, then remember, every story of the soul is a step closer to the beloved. Stay with us on this journey of light and remembrance. Subscribe, share, and let others feel what silence has whispered to you today. For in every word of truth and in every moment of stillness, there lives a secret that waits to awaken within your heart.